Hello everyone and welcome back to Coach Craig's Sports. Today is Sunday, July 17th, and this is the MLB DFS video for today. So in today's video, we'll be going over a recap of yesterday's picks, seeing how they turned out, talking about my core plays for today's FanDuel main slate. It's a 10-game main slate overall, and then talking about my top GPP stacks for today. At the time of the recording of this video, my article has not been published, but once it is published, I'll leave a link to it down in the comments below as well. But without further ado, we'll get started with a recap of yesterday's picks. At the pitcher position yesterday, we went with Dean Kramer, $8,900. Got to 9 points. He ended up being a mess yesterday. Just not a very solid day for him all around. Yesterday, pitcher was pretty ugly besides Justin Verlander, so getting off of the chalky Justin Verlander was something I kind of wanted to do, but just was something that did not end up paying off yesterday. Then at first base, we had his teammate Trey Mancini at $3,000. Had some pretty good history there yesterday versus Ryan Yarbrough and this Tampa Bay Rays team. However, he had 0 points. He was a mess, and he went 0 for 5 yesterday, so that's just really unfortunate. Then at third base, we had Austin Riley, $4,300, got to 24.7 points, so he was ahead. I believe he's the second overall third baseman on yesterday's slate as well. In the outfield, we had Adam Duvall at $2,600. He got to 6 points, so he was a push yesterday. Definitely wasn't a guy that hurt us overall, but some of the other guys that we did have hurt us, so it kind of didn't work out in the wash in the long run. Then last but not least, we had Brian Anderson, who had some pretty decent history versus Rangers Warriors in the past. I was interested in some Miami bats, but they didn't really hit the ball very well yesterday. Brian Anderson was no exception to that. He only ended up with 3 points, so he was a push as well. So really down day yesterday, but you kind of see the story of MLB DFS is the day before was like as good as it can get, and then yesterday was almost as bad as you can get. I mean, it could definitely get a lot worse, but at the same time, you're going to have good days and you're going to have bad days. That's just the way MLB DFS works out, and hopefully we end up on a very good day for the last day before the All-Star break. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to my core plays for today. So we're going to start off with the pitcher position. We talked about this guy about a couple days ago. I think it was Friday, and it's Jake Odorizzi for the Houston Astros. Same matchup as it was on Friday. $8,900. I believe his price tag is actually $300 more than it was the other day when we did talk about him. But they pushed the start back from Friday to today. You know, some of these teams, they're just rearranging how their rotation wants to be pre and post All-Star break. Doesn't really sound like he's injured or anything like that, so no major concerns there. A couple extra days of rest. Definitely interested in Jake Odorizzi once again today. So Oakland A's team is not a very good hitting team overall, and he did pitch very well versus them about a week ago. And then we moved down to first base with Rhys Hoskins, $3,400, averaging over 10 fantasy points per game on the season. He goes against the Miami Marlins and Trevor Rogers today. He is 7 for 14 with 3 home runs versus Trevor Rogers in his career. So quite a bit of history and quite a bit of good history. Definitely have a lot of interest in Rhys Hoskins once again today. Then we moved down to third baseman with Rafael Devers at $4,200. He's averaging about 13 fantasy points per game on the season. Goes against the New York Yankees and Garrett Cole today. Very good history versus Garrett Cole as he's 7 for 23 with 6 home runs versus Garrett Cole in his career. So pretty much every hit he's had in his career versus Garrett Cole has been a home run, and he's had some pretty decent success. So I would not be surprised if he hits another home run off Garrett Cole once again today. Then we're going to move down to the outfield, kind of our pay down option. Max Kepler today, $2,700, averaging about 9 fantasy points per game on the season. Goes against Chicago White Sox and Dylan Cease today. Dylan Cease is actually pitching pretty well as of late, so this is kind of a riskier play. But Max Kepler has very good history versus him. He is 6 for 15 with 3 home runs versus Dylan Cease in his career. So the upside is definitely there, but the downside is also there on today's slate overall. Then last but not least, since we already used a third base spot in Rafael Devers, can't really throw Josh Donaldson there, but Josh Donaldson is definitely somebody to consider playing once again today. He's $3,100, averaging just under 9 fantasy points per game on the season. We've seen him in the last couple weeks hit a little bit better, and he has very, very good history versus Chris Sale, who is the starting pitcher for the Boston Red Sox today. It is Chris Sale's second start back from the IL too, so that's something to keep in mind. But Donaldson is 10 for 35 with 5 home runs versus Chris Sale in his career. So definitely a ton of upside there once again. But with that being said, if you go with the players that I do have listed, you'll have $12,700 remaining, just under $3,200 per player, so you can kind of mix and match, take a bounce to build. If you want to pay up for one position, you can definitely do that. There's some decent value plays on today's slate overall. Plus, it's a Sunday. Plus, it's the last day before the All-Star break, so maybe a couple players get some rest today as well. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to my top GPP stacks for today. So once again, my article is not published at the time of the recording of this video. Once it is published, I'll leave a link to it down in the comments below. But the 5 GPP stacks that I do have for today, we're going to start off with the Yankees going against Chris Sale. Already talked about Josh Donaldson versus him, but a decent amount of these Yankees hitters have hit him pretty well in the past. It's his second start off the IL. Pitched reasonably well the first time out, didn't pitch deep into the game or anything else like that, but could be some advantages for this Yankees team overall today. Then I do have the Arizona Cardinals going against Graham Ashcraft. They've gone against him once so far this season. Obviously, Ashcraft's a rookie, so there's very limited history there, but some of these St. Louis hitters did hit him pretty well the last time that these two teams faced each other. And then we move down to the Houston Astros. They're going against James Caprillion today. Not a great pitcher by any means in terms of any analytic stuff. But with that being said, this Astros offense is, a pretty strong offense overall. They might not play Jose Altuve. It sounds like he played yesterday, but he's kind of banged up. I wouldn't be surprised if they rest him once again today, though. And then obviously Yordan Alvarez is on the IL at this point in time, but there could be a couple different value plays on this Houston team overall. They have very, very limited history versus James Caprillion so far, but they definitely could outweigh that past history as well. Then we move over to the Cincinnati Reds, who are actually one of the sneaky plays on today's slate. Probably not one that's going to be super, super popular, but they're going against Steven Matz and the St. Louis Cardinals. Matz has pitched pretty poorly versus these Reds hitters in his career. He's coming off the IL. Could be a lot of opportunities there for the Cincinnati Reds team to strike today. And then last but not least, we have the Braves, who are going against Josh Rogers, who's going to be the one pitching for the Nationals today. I believe he was just called back up from AAA. His major league career stats are nothing to be proud of, so there definitely could be a lot of advantage for this Braves team overall once again today. But with that being said, these are my core picks as well as top GPP stacks for today, July 17th. As always, if you have any questions related to MLB DFS, be sure to leave them down in the comments below and I'll get back to you as quickly as possible. Also, be sure to let me know your favorite play on today's slate, whether it's someone from my core 5 picks, whether it's someone from my top GPP stacks, or whether it's a completely different player you guys think I missed. I'm definitely interested in hearing what you have to say. But with that being said, if you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. Definitely would appreciate it. Helps to build the community that we're trying to build here at Coach Craig Sports, which is one that's truly for you, the viewers. Helping you with your DFS, primarily MLB DFS at this point in time since that's the major sport going on. But once we get back around to the NFL and NBA regular seasons, I'll be covering those two sports as well. Obviously, we're headed into the MLB All-Star break, so probably not going to be a video for a couple days until we get back to the regular season games. So hopefully you all can enjoy the MLB All-Star break, enjoy a couple days away from DFS and everything else like that. And then with that being said, if you're a newer current subscriber who's yet to do so, also be sure to hit that notification bell down below. It's going to let you know every single time I post up a new video. Like I've been saying, I post up daily MLB DFS videos just like this. But with that being said, that's all I have for today's video. Hopefully you all enjoyed. And then last but not least, special little shout out to each and every one of you watching today's video. I truly do appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video. Definitely means a lot to me, and I hope each and every one of you has a great rest of your day.